on, let's go, man. Not making a lot of progress here today. Not making a lot, but it's all good.
Are you ready?
Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about Robert McGinnis, this book here specifically. Robert McGinnis is one of the just top illustrators of our era. There's some beautiful pieces of artwork in here, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of go over through this and chat about this artist, the book, and show you some of the great art. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's do it. Okie dokie, everybody. Thanks for tuning in on this episode. This book, The Art of Robert McGinnis, is by Titan Books. It retails for $35. Definitely worth it. $35. I know it's not cheap, but and this is a little thin, maybe compared to some of the other like Illustrator books, but I think it's great. And let's just talk about this cover. I mean, it's just brilliant. His thing is girls, is women. That's kind of like what he was known for. And there's just some brilliant pieces of work here that I'm definitely excited to share with you guys. So let's just go ahead and get in on this. He also did landscapes. Did a lot of stuff. It wasn't just the one genre. He actually started working in 1947 and went until 2014. So he worked for 8 decades. 8 decades. That is a long, long time. And his body of work isn't just like the pinup stuff and the kind of detective pulp paperbacks. He did landscapes. He did a lot of different illustration work, as well as some fine art things as well. And you know, there's always that battle between illustration and fine art. What is that definition? We won't go into that here, but suffice it to say, if you're working for some sort of a director or editor or somebody like that, that's illustration. You're paid for a job to draw something. If you don't have that type of boss or someone to answer to, then that's a little bit more of the kind of the fine art world. You just do what you want. There's a lot in between that, but I just mentioned that. He also, it talks about he working with Bob Peak. Yeah. He talked about, he shared a studio with, listen to this, Frank McCarthy, Bob Peak, Bernie Fuchs. Bernie Fuchs, I love Bernie Fuchs. And Bob Peak is like, I love him too. These are some of the best ever. So he was in that environment and worked with these people that became some of the greatest, okay? So I really dig that. His father was an illustrator as well. So his father was an artist, which helps. His family were very encouraging on that. He was in the football team in Ohio. That's where he grew up. He grew up in Ohio, in a farm near Cincinnati. And he just drew and painted and became the guy. So it's a great image of this. So let's just go ahead and start going. He does some interviews here too, talking about his scrap file. He talks about his scrap file, the idea he got from Al Parker, part of that famous artist correspondence course. You remember I have videos of those, so I've already launched 2 of those videos, lesson 1, lesson 2. So if you want to look at some of those famous artist correspondence classes, go check out those videos, because they're kind of cool. So you can check that if you want. He talks about doing this illustration for a Howard Pyle book, and the amount of effort and work that went into the composition of these pieces, because it was not only getting models, but the costuming and different angles. And he was up in a tree to kind of get the angle right of these branches and stuff. And so some of these illustration works, I mean, there's a lot of pre-production, if you will, to get these together. He also did some beautiful landscapes, which you don't think of McGinnis as doing landscapes at all, but great stuff. Now, a lot of these paintings we're going to talk about are in tempera and egg tempera. And egg tempera or tempura, sometimes they're used interchangeably, is similar to an acrylic, but it's got a little bit more of a gooey feel to it, and it dries matte, kind of like a gouache, but it's a tempura, and it was actually before oils. So some of the old illustration stuff, like in kind of those religious kind of paintings and such by like the Dutch illustrators or Italian, were done in egg tempura until oils kind of became invented or popularized. Once oil paint really became the norm, then the egg tempura style kind of was eliminated. But artists today still use egg tempura, and there's some great videos actually on YouTube on how to do egg tempura, and I was going to try it actually this week. I thought it'd be fun. Basically, you get you have to separate the yolk from the white, but you get the yolk and you use that yolk mixing in with either some dry pigment, or even you could use like some hydrous watercolors like P.H. Martin's or something like that, and then you have egg tempura. So it doesn't stay, you have to use it then. It doesn't, like, you can't like keep it for a day, so it's kind of like this immediate thing. But I thought it would be interesting to try, because he does so much of his work in tempura. I thought, well, why in the hell is he doing that? Like, what's the advantage of tempura versus why isn't he just using acrylics, or why not use oil even? So, and the book doesn't say why, so I want to figure that out. Okay, let's talk art. Let's talk about these beautiful pictures. He had a couple of models that he used often, over and over, but just look at the faces, the beautiful bodies, and then the compositions of the background and stuff. I love what this background, I don't know what this background is. I don't know how he did it, but I really like it. I mean, nowadays we would just Photoshop this background as some sort of a scan, and we would just put it in. But I'm pretty sure he's painting that damn thing. In fact, I'm sure he is. And look at this beautiful body, this great line here of her frame, the breasts, and then the tummy there, the waist, and the hip. Just the framing of this is great. I bet he has a lot of photography reference that he would do. These models, he would shoot them in all positions in every way, and then he would collect those. And so he had these big file books of each model in different positions, and just wonderful stuff. And the faces too, just great things. So what he's most known for, I would say, are these kind of detective books and this kind of stuff here. And you see he will do like a preliminary sketch. And I'm not sure if he did the preliminary sketch first and then did some photography, or if he did a sketch after the photography and then just went back to it to refine it. I'm not sure the process on that, but wonderful faces, beautiful lips there. Those eyes are great. But it's really nice to kind of see the sketches too, because we can see some of the changes, perhaps, that this one actually looks pretty faithful to the sketch, but every now and then you'll see some changes that are interesting. I think this one's changed a little bit. But gorgeous stuff. I mean, I would like to see just his black and whites. Like, imagine if he would have done comics. I mean, he just, wonderful frames. Here's another. That's gorgeous back there. This is just wonderful. And then it's almost this kind of abstract backgrounds he would put. This kind of a nature, kind of a really kind of just some strange texture. It does have this kind of abstract, expressionist look to it. which I really dig. And when is it? This is 62 as well, so this is pretty far back. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at those colors. Isn't that great? Is this tempera too? Yeah, this is all tempera stuff. Look at those colors. I love it. And then it looks like he's probably going over this too with some sort of texture, maybe like a crayon or some sort of a charcoal pencil here. And then look at this, the skin. If you're looking closely, I can look because I'm right here. If you're looking closely, you'll see that there's a lot of line work here. There's actually a lot of like almost a lot of like hatching, almost like paint hatching or lines that's building up to this. It's not just one stroke. He's really putting a lot in here, which is kind of interesting why he's doing that. I don't know. But yeah, this is great. And the shadows just are perfect. That background is amazing. Yeah. Big fan of that. Great colors. This is one of these Sherry Heat or Height. Sherry Height. She was one of the models that he used often. Kind of a buxom chick, gorgeous gal, and he used her a lot on these. Just clearly is a good reason for it. Again, these backgrounds are they really do have this kind of expressive way, and it's just great. I mean, that was just a great lines. Great figure stuff. Oh yeah, look at these. I mean, this stuff is really good, you guys. I'm really impressed with him. I'm glad we got to see this. I have to be careful for the. I want you guys to be able to see the art in this, and the light is reflecting a little bit. Sorry about that. Beautiful stuff. This is hard to pull off too because the hair does kind of blend in, and you would look at this and say, "Oh man, this color is kind of this, dark brown sienna poop color. This is not kind of cool. Why don't you make it orange or red or something?" But it really is working well here. Yeah, it's not easy to do. I think because it has that other layer, that lighter layer underneath. I think that maybe is what makes that work. Again, here too, it almost looks as though he tried different backgrounds that he kind of like just is going over that because he just didn't like it and didn't care for it. Very loose, but the figure is so tight and so important. Again, look at those colors. Great. He's got these blues, and then she is this almost like a olive green. That nightie is kind of a pink nightie. Really cool. Again, really loose, expressive background. Not even fully painted, just kind of like just enough to see what it is. And your mind kind of does the rest. But all these Perry Mason books he did, and they were hugely popular. This is great too. I like this just because the shadow is just really great shadow and how that kind of comes out. Yeah, look at, see how the shirt is just kind of loosely put on there with the brush. Great figure here. That looks great. Not super tight. A little, he didn't do like a black line here. He just kind of makes it a little loose there. And here too, the shoe pants. It's a nice clean line there. The clouds, and that's actually really pretty too. This kind of background there. Great stuff. We don't know how long these each took. I'm gonna assume probably just standard week or two each, but maybe he banged these out quicker. I don't know. On the speed. Again, maybe the tempera helps with that in some way. Of course, it would be much quicker than oil, which takes a while. Wow, look at this. Look at that back, that defining back. What a great model. Look at that. And these bumps here. It's not just this round. There's these really great anatomy moments here in this line, the curve on her buttocks right there. It's really good. Yeah, that looks real. That's good. Yeah, I'm actually more and more impressed with these backgrounds. Some of this, one of his mentors was Colby Whitmore, who was another, and even probably John Whitcomb too, but both of them were definitely peers, maybe before him a little bit, that did a lot of like woman, illustrations, and were known for their like covers of Look and things like that. And some of these do remind me of like a Colby Whitmore look to them, that one in particular. Yeah, that one looks a little different. That almost looks a little. And this even has kind of like an Al Parker look to it. What's the? This is interesting. There's different versions. Huh. Yeah, but it's the same thing. Yeah. I like this. Again, it's just so ballsy to do the background like that. I feel like it would feel unfinished. Oh, that's great. See, he could do kind of a cartoon, and he could have done some amazing cartoons. Goodness. But that's not where the money is. The money's in illustration. It's for darn sure. This is a great piece. Look at this. Look at to see all these different bodies and positions. He's just like, it's not easy being the king. 007 or whatever he is with all these like top tier models. It's a fun costume. I like that a lot. It's beautiful hair right there. I really like that face. So good stuff. Yeah, again, backgrounds. Wonderful. There's James Corbin, or Corbin? Yeah, Coburn. That's different. Look at that. I know that's that Shay. What was her name? Shay? Yeah, you can tell that face. Unfortunately, we don't have the sizes of these. It would be fun to know the sizes. Just as a nerd, I like to know, is this like 18 by 32 or what is that? I like to know. So this is nice actually because we get the chance to see a little bit of the production. We see the photograph, right? So we see the photograph he took of this model. And then now we kind of see what he did to it to kind of like bump it up a bit. Face looks fine. Using this really for the hair, but even the hair, he didn't go as big as hers was. And even the positioning of the face isn't quite right because the shadows are a little bit different. The hand positioning, good. Now notice he did thin her out a bit here on the mid size. I think that's just part of, Americanizing something. So he changed her breasts, put her breasts a little bit, well, definitely larger, but also kind of like a little bit lower so you can see that cut underneath. And then this is maybe just a thinned out just a little bit, cut in a little here. Legs look pretty much the way they are, and then yeah, she even does a little toe there, which is kind of fun. And then because it's on a casket, he just cut that off there. Yeah. But that's kind of fun to see. Yeah, these are different different kind of versions, I guess he was kind of playing with. Yeah, if you look at it, he's using a lot of brush. It almost looks like it's dry brush, like tempera dry brushed, because the way the lines are, like he's using some sort of a dry brush or a lot of little lines that a worn out brush would do. I really want to know if that's what he's doing. It's my hypothesis. This is pretty. Really pretty stuff, really pretty background. I'd love to work on those kind of things more. It'd be fun to just do 8 or 10 backgrounds of just different colors, different things. That would be a lot of fun, actually. Maybe I'll think about that. Yeah, great stuff. Look at that, that's great. Oh my gosh. Oh, is this that one? Is this the one that you talked about? It must have been, yeah. Wow, that is complicated. So before, when they were doing the interview, I thought it was simply this. No, dude. It's this. That's why he was up in the tree getting photographs of all these branches, because it's completely complicated with all this stuff. And he had people in costume doing these. Wow. Yeah. No wonder. That's a very complicated image with a lot of figure work. Wow. That's cool. That's really cool. That's fun. I didn't even know he did some kind of straight up, romance stuff here. With the naked ass. He's just going out, doing it. Yeah, there's Haiti again. Great leg. Look at that leg. Wow. And here's where he does the movie stuff. He did posters, kind of like Frazetta did this as well. Frazetta did it. Bob Peak, of course. I mean, a lot of these illustrators, they went to the film because film paid so well. So this isn't photographs. These are people painting these. The Odd Couple and stuff like that, and Breakfast at Tiffany's, and then all the 007 stuff. It's just really great. I love the illustration poster stuff. I would like to get a book. Probably wouldn't be that hard to find. A book on movie posters. I'm sure there's tons. Yeah, look at that. And the women. That's why he's being paid. The girls. But look at these sketches too, though. This looks like Bob Peak stuff. This or Al Parker. Look at that. Isn't that great? You gotta love that. You got to. The coloring, the exaggerations, and the screwball comedy stuff. Yeah, look at all this screwball comedy stuff. What is this? Let's make a dirty movie, yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. All these chicks and stuff. It's so silly. And then look at that, wow. This looks like photos here. What is this? Yeah. Wow. So he did all kinds of stuff. He kind of like, you know, when you're doing illustration, you have to, you know, go all over the place. So here we do some nudes here for different magazines. Good housekeeping. I mean, that looks like a Andrew Wyeth house type of a deal. Look at that. That's beautiful. Like a faucet. Yeah. Great stuff. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this is another one of those like Wyeth type of work. National Geographic. Oh, that's nice. Here's some gallery art. Let's look at this. There's gallery stuff. Again, women the focus. No surprise there. And this is basically him just doing what he wants to do, right? In theory. That's a cool one. I like that one. And then the West. A lot of artists did the West, especially in the early 40s, 50s, and 60s and stuff. They did a lot of Western. Very popular. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, that's a great painting. Thanks for watching. I appreciated you guys checking it out. Big fan of Robert McGinnis. You know, as we talk about the art of comics, we're really talking about illustration, and we're talking about storytelling and art, and that's what this is all about. So thanks a lot for watching. Check out my other videos, and if you want to know what I do, check out some of my live drawing videos or my Patreon. My Patreon's got all that goodies. So thanks a lot, guys. Bye.